You calling me a terrorist or anything like that, sir?
No, but there is that potential risk. We don't know if you're a terrorist.
Yeah, but then I can then say the same thing about you, sir. I can turn around and say that you're this. If I then actually make a presumption then on an officer actually committing murder or doing rape, okay, I could say that I think that you're a potential rapist, and it's the same thing.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Here at UK Audits, we shine a light on police misconduct and hold public officials accountable. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our upcoming videos.
So, you can see here, these guys are PCSOs. So, yeah, you can see the vans coming out. So, I'm clearly staying on the pavement. Yeah. So you can see the way it works. Afternoon.
Why are you recording the police station?
Pardon?
Why are you recording?
Well, first of all, could you identify yourself for me?
I'm a police officer.
No, you're not. You're not a police officer. No, let's verify that, sir. No, you just said you were a police officer. Right, okay, so let's verify that. And why's that then, sir? Why's that? Tell me why I can't. Tell me why I can't, sir. And first of all, you should have told me under section 3.5, okay, that you actually turned your camera on and you were recording. Yeah, but you should have informed me, sir. Okay? Could you identify yourself for me, please, sir? Could you identify yourself for me? Your collar number, please.
My number is here. You can see me.
No, your number's not on the front. 7334. And yours is 7916. And yours is 7918.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're watching a simple pavement filming turn tense. The cameraman asserts he's on public ground as uniformed staff close in. One insists he's a police officer. The filmer immediately challenges identity, requests collar details, and flags Bodycam notice requirements. The back and forth sets the stakes: lawful public filming versus authority scrutiny, with the burden of proper identification placed squarely on the staff.
Okay, thank you very much. Which is a perfectly lawful activity, sir.
Yeah, but we need to know why you're recording.
No, you don't need to know. You do not need to know. I'm standing in public.
Yeah, we're saying
I'm standing in public, sir.
Yeah.
And there is absolutely nothing you can do about that, sir.
Just a minute. We'll see.
Okay, so what you got here, guys, is you got 3 PCSOs that decided to actually come up to me. This gentleman here actually said to himself he was a police officer when yet he is a PCSO, nothing more. Okay, and that is the problem. Okay, so, and that's the thing. Right, and that is what you have. Okay, so you got this officer impersonating an officer by saying he was a police officer, and that's the problem. So, yeah, so I will carry on about my business as I'm allowed to.
Recording you.
And?
We are recording you
Yep.
on the camera.
And?
I have asked officer to come and talk to you.
Yep. And whether or not I wish to talk to him is my business.
I'm just letting you know.
Yep, no, that's fine. Thank you very much for letting me know. I appreciate that.
We are staying here until the officer coming down.
Okay, well, I may not stay here.
That's fine, sir.
So,
I need to let you know.
no, that's fine. And you're perfectly, and I welcome that. And thank you very much for letting me know.
Welcome, sir.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
It doesn't matter what my name is.
My name's Tipo1.
Thank you very much.
Although common lane, sadly I've got a group of rest areas on our side
Okay.
of the road, although the map shows all there. It's on the side.
So you can see there, I was filming in here, I'm waiting for the van to come out. These came out. This lady's quite nice. She's been really polite, really professional. This gentleman has been very professional as well, very polite. And then this one actually told me he was a police officer when he is a PCSO. Okay, and nothing more. He also then didn't tell me he had his camera on. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take a walk down to...
The debate sharpens. He states filming from a public place is lawful and refuses to justify his purpose. He alleges a PCSO introduced himself as a police officer and calls that out on camera. The group lingers, pressing for reasons. He stays calm, asserts his rights, and decides to move toward the in-gate for wider context. The line is clear. He will continue his business without conceding ground on identification or intent.
Sir, would you mind if I ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind?
Depends what you ask.
Oh, no, I just asked you a question. Do you mind if I just ask, what made you get into becoming a PCSO?
Well, I can't tell you everything really.
No, just give me a...
Well, it's my choice. I want to become a PCSO, it's my choice.
Yeah, I know it's your choice, sir.
I can't tell you everything.
No. But were you doing it to try and make the world a better place? Were you trying to make the streets safer?
I'll answer you all this question. All you have to do, wait, there's some officers coming to talk to you. That's all you
Well, they can come out, but I don't have to talk to them.
Yeah.
Let's verify
Yeah, but
that.
if you can wait, that'd be nice as well.
No, that,
Yeah.
and
That
as you
would
can,
be like-
and as you
There's
can,
nothing to hide anyway. So
and as you can see, I'm nice and chilled, and I will talk to you.
Yeah.
And as I said, for yourself and this lady here, you two have been really nice. Okay,
I'm always-
but then
I'm
when you take that other gentleman, he should not say he's a police officer. He's not a police officer. Okay. So, and that's the problem. Okay, he can't tell me he's something when he's not, sir.
No, we are community officers.
Yeah.
We're not.
Correct.
That's why we can't. That's why we talk to each other. It's just
Yeah.
like
And-
some officer will come and talk to you. That's all.
And that's fine.
Nothing
And
wrong
sir,
with it.
I welcome any interaction.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I welcome any interaction. Okay.
Yeah.
So, are there how many the PCSOs here? So, are they actually based here, or do they come in from somewhere
I
else?
can't answer you this question.
Okay, are you based here or not?
I'm based over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are you based here, or do you?
He attempts a candid exchange. The PCSO defers and urges him to wait for officers. He reiterates he welcomes engagement, but won't surrender autonomy or legal position. The crux returns. You cannot claim to be a police officer if you're not. Titles matter because authority rests on them. The air tightens not from shouting, but from principle. He documents the non-answers, preserving a measured record of restraint, process, and accountability in real time.
Come from somewhere else? Because I know sometimes they get PCSOs to come from other places.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. So, yeah, so you can see from that, he really didn't want to talk. He's not interested, and this is what the problem is. So, and when you look at the bigger picture, that's the interesting thing of the way that things are done and what's actually said. So you can see, so you got enough of a van coming out. So wrong way, all right. So these guys are on their way out. Yeah. And then straight into traffic. So yeah, so what we got now, guys, is we've now got two actual police officers walking up to me. And the one that actually said that he was a police officer, he is now telling him whatever he's telling him. So yeah, so let's now see what happens. So, and as I said, I welcome any engagement, but they've got to be truthful. They can't lie. They can't go blah blah blah, and that's what they need to do. So, and that's what they need to be aware of.
Reluctance gives way to motion. Traffic flows, radios crackle, and two officers approach across the frame. He narrates expectations, truthfulness, transparency, proper procedure. The setup is classic. Concerned officials meet a calm citizen filmer standing on public ground. By pausing before formal identification, he lets the tension peak, inviting viewers to watch whether policy and training translate into respectful, lawful practice when cameras are rolling and questions are precise.
We're just sitting around this side so we won't be able to get it, right? What I'm going to do, mate, so I can see you're filming, myself and our officer are going to put our body warrants on as well, okay?
No worries. Thank you very much for telling me. I appreciate that.
No worries. We'll start off now. My name's PC Danny Griffiths, 3516 Alpha Whiskey.
Thank you very much, sir.
2839 Alpha Whiskey.
Thank you very much, sir.
Now, so we can see that you're filming a police station.
Yep.
That can raise some concerns for us. We've asked them why you're doing that.
No, I understand that it may raise concerns for you. What I'm doing is I'm just doing a quick video about the police station and about Hammersmith police station, to do with why, when you look at the amount of calls that go into the police, that out of Hammersmith police station for burglaries and that, it's only 1 in every 27 people then that are visited from that.
So 127, as in...
One in every 27 burglaries, the police attend
That's not
in
true.
Hammersmith.
That's not true. I can't speak for the other teams that work at Hammersmith. Our team keeps seeing it every
Well
single
then,
purpose.
you need to actually go back and look at the statistics then, and look at the actual stats.
So again, might be a question for my superiors. We can't answer that here now. We're obviously just concerned about what it
No, that's fine.
I'm more than happy with your explanation. That was if we prefer we didn't because of the high security risks around the station itself.
Well, first of all, can you tell me, is the police station secure?
Yes.
Am I standing in public, sir?
Yes.
Right. Well, then there's no problem whatsoever then.
However, you filming can be classed as sort of intel, covert intel.
So what are you saying? Are you calling me a terrorist or anything like that, sir?
No, but there is that potential risk. We don't know if you're a terrorist.
Yeah, but then I can then say the same thing about you, sir. I can turn around and say that you're this. If I then actually make a presumption then on an officer actually committing murder or doing rape, okay, I could...
Formal IDs given, collar numbers on record, Bodycams declared. The officer's voice concern about filming and security. He counters with basics: public space, secure perimeter, no prohibitions. When intel and terror risk are floated, he rejects presumption by analogy, insisting suspicion isn't proof. The tone stays cool. He has a purpose, states it plainly, and invites scrutiny of conduct rather than character. Procedure, not posture, will define this encounter.
Say that I think that you're a potential rapist, and it's the same thing. You can't go off of that presumption, sir. I'm standing here, you've asked me what I'm doing, I've told you what I'm doing, sir. And as you can see, I'm really chilled out, and all what I'm doing is a quick documentary, okay, and speaking to officers. And as I said, I welcome any interaction from any officer, and that's how it should be. And most of all, when you actually came and you approached me, you are most probably the only officers so far from here that have actually came and approached me correctly. First of all, you told me you're putting your body worn cameras on, then you identified yourself correctly. When you take that PCSO that was actually telling you when he was walking up here, when he first came out the gate, there was 2 police vehicles that were coming out the gate. He stopped me, and then he actually told me outright he's a police officer. He's not a police officer, he's a PCSO. He can't say he's a police officer. That is wrong information to give to the members of the public. He cannot do that, sir.
Okay, well, I didn't witness that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll take your word for it. Okay, so in terms of footage, all right, have you got what you needed?
No. As soon as I'm done, then I'll be on my way.
Do you know roughly how long that's going to be?
I couldn't tell you, sir. I could be here 5 minutes, I could be here half an hour. I couldn't tell you, sir. As soon as I'm done, then I'll be on my way.
Would you do post on YouTube, Facebook, or...?
No, not all the time. I look at the footage, I speak to local people, and then I see what then local people would like to be done.
Okay, do you do this like around like public police stations, or is it purely Hammersmith?
No, I go around the whole country.
You're around the whole country?
Yep.
Okay, so where are you from?
It doesn't matter where I'm from, sir.
I'm not trying to take you.
No. I decline to answer that. I don't need to answer my whereabouts and where I'm from.
No worries. I was just trying to make chat, mate. That's all.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
That's absolutely fine. No worries. I take it you're not willing to provide your name at all or anything else?
No.
No.
That's high pitch.
Yeah.
Any particular reason for that at all, or because you assume that you don't have to do?
No, I've committed no crime and I've broken no law, sir.
No, absolutely. We're not saying
So,
you have to.
and that's why I as I said, I don't have to account for myself or for my details.
Oh no, we're not saying you have to. We're absolutely not saying you have to. We're just asking if you would like to.
Yeah, and as I told you, I will decline on that.
Praises these officers' approach. Notice given, identities clear, dialogue civil. Then he contrasts it with the earlier PCSO claim of being a police officer, calling it unacceptable to mislead the Ikes public. Questions follow about how long he'll film and where footage goes. He declines personal details, reminding everyone that legal rights don't hinge on sharing biography. The scene becomes a case study in boundaries, consent, and respectful, professional curiosity.
While you are actually here, could I ask you both a couple of questions, if you don't mind, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah? At this moment in time, as you know, there's a number of different forces all up and down the country, and they all operate slightly different. We all know that. But at this moment in time, a lot of members of the public up and down the country, and you've only got to look in the paper, online, and so on and so forth, that they feel that there's a bit of a divide between the police and the public. Okay? Now, there shouldn't be, and a bridge needs to be built to actually fill that gap. Okay? That's something that needs to be done. We need the police. They do one hell of a job, but what we need to do is it's the bad officers is what gives the good officers a bad name. But what we need to do is we need to try and bridge that gap, and we need to try and bring the police and the public back together. and that is a must. That is what we need to do. Okay, in your ride, if there was one thing that you could do, okay, that could actually help bring them back together, what would you say?
It's a difficult question to answer. That's a very large question to answer. All I can say is myself and sure my colleague would vouch for me as well, that we do our independent job as best we can. Every call we go to, every victim we deal with, we do it at the highest standard possible. That sort of value, that sort of mindset is something that the Met has to push for all of these officers. Yeah, we can't speak for every officer, every dispatch.
No, and as I said, I only want your own opinion. That's it, sir. That's all I want.
That's the fact. We try and do the best job we can with the victims that are to us. I try and make sure the justice is served as best as it can be. That's the job that we try and do. Unfortunately, when police officers do their job right, it's rarely reported on.
Well, no, that's also another reason, because one thing that I want to highlight is that, and you've already heard me say it, it's about bridging the gap, and it's also about highlighting the good officers. Okay, it's very important. It's very easy to always sort of put something up that sort of shows the bad officer and what goes on, but it's also very important that good officers are also highlighted, and they get the love and respect that they deserve, and I think that's very important for that to be done.
It's one of the things though that sometimes it's not shown in the media that way. There is things in place in the police force. You get commendations, things like that for good work and things like that.
But that's commendations.
The conversation widens to trust. He argues the gap between public and police must be bridged and highlights good officers as well as problems. They answer with commitments to standards and the realities of the job. Noting commendations exist but don't always shape public perception, the exchange is sober, not theatrical. Two sides acknowledging pressure points, while the camera ensures accuracy, tone and context remain preserved for viewers to judge fairly.
In between, what I'm talking about is there's such a divide, because at this moment in time, for a long while, there hasn't been what we know as a officer walking the streets as much as what they used to. And because of what's happening, the police now doing more and more work actually in cars and driving around. They're not actually on the street, and they're not engaging with full local people. And that is a big worry when you look at the way that things are. It's a big worry.
Again, it's a lot of answers to that question. You say there are officers on the street, we have local SMT teams around London who do foot patrol. We also use cars a lot more because London is such a sports metropolis. We have to answer calls in a variety of locations, especially on the outskirts of London, which have a larger map than our foreign cars. It's not financially viable for us to put loads of pieces on the street, answer calls such as that. This is why we have things like SMT wards, which are local police encouraged to deal with smaller issues and police on the street. I understand that we don't have many police on the ground, which is why we have things like PCSOs, special constables, try and help fill those gaps. Those are things that the Met does. I'm sure other constabularies do to try and fill that void as well. I understand your concerns, I really do, but unfortunately that's not a question for the constables to answer.
Okay, so here's another one then. If there was a burglary up the road, right, and that was being done, and then you have a problem in a shop up the other way up the road, why is it then that the police often get sent to the business rather than the actual burglary?
It's not us to decide who goes to what call.
Yeah, but do you think that that's right, putting a business before the public?
Well, I don't know the situation. It's not just a case of that's a business, that's a burglary. It's the information we have at the time. It's not us to decide which call is which grade is, which needs more attention than the other. We answer the call, we do the best job we do when we get it.
Okay. And I know that every officer knows this, I know this for a fact. When you look at the way that things are prioritised, i.e. prioritising 1 for a call, 2 and 3 and 4, okay, when you look at those actual prioritising, then why is it that as a whole they put the actual businesses at first and the public, depending on what it is, at 2 and 3? That can't be right. That's not right in any way.
I'm not sure it is. I think every individual call is taking on the merit of the information we have at the time. For example, if a presidential address has a lot of calls going to it, has special measures in it, it's going to rank a lot higher than perhaps a business in the middle of the night that has a burglar alarm string. Again, I can't say that is for certain. That's for the call handler to decide with the information they have themselves. We have to do the best job that we can once we attend an address, which is obviously what we always do. And obviously, so I assume you have some more questions. I think I can speak for PT Crew as well. We're happy that you're not having any issues here. We're going to go back inside.
No worries, that's perfect. Okay, thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. Okay, and have a lovely day and a great weekend.
If I can make one suggestion, I did understand it obviously.
Right, I will stop you there.
Yep.
Please don't give me a suggestion. I make sure that what I'm doing, I'm safe, okay, and I don't go into any areas where I shouldn't be, okay, so don't worry about that. But please don't give me a suggestion. It's one thing that I don't need. Okay, and that's no disrespect to you, I just don't need a suggestion. I make sure where I am, I'm in control of what I do, and I don't enter any areas that I shouldn't be in. Okay?
No, you don't do anything wrong. Absolutely not. We're saying if any member of the public was standing around here, there's no entrance way or sell cars coming in that and do that sort of time. I just want you to get off by a car.
And that's why I say, as you can see, I was always standing here, and exactly what everyone else does when I'm ready to cross, then I cross.
Yeah.
And as you would any other road, you look left and right and then move.
No worries.
Okay?
Good day, sir.
No worries. And yourselves, take care, gents. So you can see there, guys, it was a so-so interaction. I wouldn't say it was the best, I wouldn't say it was the worst, but at least they identified themselves correctly and in the correct manner. That's what they done, was they correctly identified themselves in a correct manner. But then when you actually look at the PCSOs and the way that they actually done it, and the way that the PCSO's done it, you can't have...
Resources, patrol models, and call grading come under the lens. He challenges priorities like business versus residential response. They explain constraints and triage, then wrap the contact professionally. A safety suggestion is declined. He sets his own limits, crosses like any pedestrian, and closes with a measured debrief. Officers identified correctly. The PCSO misrepresentation remains the red line. If you found this breakdown useful, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.